Hello and welcome to Dynamic Industrial Facility second tutorial. In this video we will cover the gears and machinery. Let's start with creating several gears and making them look different. To do that fast, I pick number of cogs, cogs type and the very gear. For this example I want, let's say, 30 square cogs and 10 square cogs. To connect them, I simply drag one of them to another's field connected, and gears will calculate their gear ratio automatically. Dynamic change of RPM is also supported, and what is left is to move this gear closer for a nice visual. We can add any number of gears to this chain without any significant performance loss. If I swap the gear, it will still remain connected to its chain. Now let's say you have a bevel type gear. It obviously has different orientations and sometimes you will want to flip it. In that case, natural rotation cycle will break. To fix that, simply check the inverted checkbox and it will retain its gear ratios and will rotate the right direction. Now let's return the gears to their normal state and move on. Quite often you will need coaxial gears. Let's duplicate one of gears and get some empty game object. We will add custom gear connection component to it and drag and drop desired gears to these fields. Set the ratio, and now those wheels will rotate without taking into account their actual radius. Sometimes you might want to copy rotation from objects to other objects that do not behave like gears. In that case, add component copy rotation, drag and drop the example, and set the multiplier. Now it will probably rotate around wrong axis. Yep. Let's change it to Y. And yes, this is what we wanted. Now I will rename keeper of custom gear connections. And let's move to the wheels tutorial. Wheels have tangent component which allows them to carry the belt. The simplest way to get the belt transmission is to put prefab, lock the inspector, and drag and drop the wheels you want to carry the belt. Here. In editor, belt will follow the wheels, but at runtime it won't. You can add any number of wheels to the belt, but keep in mind the order. If something like this happens, you might go to the wheel and set the anti-clockwise. Let's check our whole chain. Sometimes you will get this picture. The only way to fix such kind of twisting is to rotate one of the wheels. I obviously don't want to rotate this one, so I have to either rotate this whole engine or rotate only one wheel on this engine. Now the axis will rotate in the opposite direction, but in general it works. Let's fix the rotation of the axis. Yep. Now, as we constructed the door, let's look how it works. The concept is that the door rotates the gear when it's opening. So you can see this target wheel, which is this one, and the multiplier. So when the activation comes, the door starts rotating this wheel, and this wheel in return starts rotating the whole chain. You only have to designate the distance door travels, maximum speed and the acceleration. Everything else will be calculated automatically. Let's speed up this door opening, and you can see it opens or closes much quicker. Now let's move to the engines. Now I believe there is nothing particular about the engines, because basically you simply add your engine to any gears or wheels and it will automatically calculate its motion. Let's try it. Now let's get to the reducers. Reducers are the devices that reduce RPM but increase power. However, you can use them vice versa to increase the RPM. Technically, there is no difference, because anyway you have one gear or wheel rotating faster than another one, and it's up to you how to use this. Just construct your chain using both top and bottom gears, and reducer will calculate their gear ratio. Now let's go to the switchers. Switchers, surprisingly, are used to switch things on and off. Let's demonstrate that on a lamp. I just select the switch, add string, drag and drop the lamp I want to target, and choose the function. For the light, it is switch light. Now, if we call the event press, the light goes off and on. Let's make the same for the door. I select the switch, add the string, lock the inspector to make life easier, drag and drop the object that has DIF gate on it, and choose the function DIF gate activate. Let's have a check by calling the event press, and it works. Finally, let's start the gear. Unlike other switch and prefabs, this one requires small preparation. I'm adding the starter component, set the target RPM, start time and stop time. Now let's select the switcher, add the string, drag and drop the wheel, and add function gear starter launch. Let's have a check. Yep. Last thing we want to cover in this tutorial is the conveyors. Conveyors are the things that spawn, transport and despawn objects. You can change conveyor's length by adjusting middle module's number. The despawn area will move with the last section. You can make any kinds of schemes for your objects to move along. The objects are moved as long as they touch the collider of conveyor belt. Thank you for your attention and let us know if you have any questions left.